Hello and welcome to the in-news series of Drishti IAS. The war is raging between Russia and Ukraine. No end in sight for it. A new angle has emerged with respect to dirty bombs. What are these dirty bombs? We will discuss that. Apart from that, what is the claim of Russia? Why is Russia claiming that Ukraine is going to use dirty bombs and it will be touted as a nuclear aggression? We will discuss all about that. Let us begin with the topics that we are going to cover from the perspective of prelims. Factual information is very important. Do take care of it. Apart from that, from the perspective of GS mains paper 2nd and 3rd, it might be possible that you can be getting a framed question with respect to this only. What is the news? What has Russia claimed with respect to the usage of dirty bombs by Ukraine? Why did Russia make its dirty bomb claim? What is it? How is it made? How much damage can they do? Has a dirty bomb ever been used in military history? And what is the response of Ukraine and the West to these claims, and a question in the last. Without any further ado, I have already introduced you with the news, but the news piece has been garnered from the Indian Express. Apart from that, many other authentic sites such as BBC as well. Moving ahead, if we talk about the Russia claim, what is the claim of Russia? As we can see, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu has on a phone call made these claims with respect to the usage of dirty bombs to the UK's Defense Secretary Ben Wallace, who was also in the, who was a potential candidate to become UK's Prime Minister. And in this phone call, during this phone call, the Defense Minister of Russia said that he is pretty concerned about possible provocations by Kiev, that is Ukraine, involving the use of dirty bombs. To the UNSC, he also claims to the United Nations Security Council that if Kiev does so, then it will be an act of nuclear terrorism, and then it will give a justification for the Russian usage of nuclear bombs. Okay, this is what is the pretext. Now, why has Russia made such claims? US-based Institute for the Study of War has claimed that Russia's defense minister might have claimed in order to slow down the support of the West to Ukraine by showing or framing Ukraine as the aggressor. And Russia is planning to explode a dirty bomb in Ukraine itself. This is also alleged that it might be that Russia itself will be using these dirty bombs in the territory of Ukraine and then show it as Ukraine has used this. So this is basically a false flag attack. Moving ahead, let's talk about a dirty bomb. By the name, we can understand that it is a bomb and it contains radioactive materials such as uranium. The process of, you can say, detonation, how does it occur? When conventional material of the bomb detonates, the scattering of nuclear material is through the air, okay? And it could be made by using radioactive materials from hospitals, from nuclear power stations or research laboratories. That makes making these bombs very cheap and quicker than the conventional nuclear weapons. Moving ahead, as this chart shows how to make a dirty bomb, just get uranium or any radioactive material from hospital or any other place nuclear power station. Then when the finer parts of the nuclear material is extracted, it is integrated with the conventional explosives. And you know that these can be carried in vehicles as well. Nuclear weapons, the conventional ones, can't be carried through cars and vehicles, normal vehicles. Now, one thing that we have to understand over here, that although nuclear weapons, they create a city flattening explosion, it is not the case with dirty bombs. The basic aim is to create havoc amongst the civil population, the civilians. So it is designed to spread toxic waste. When toxic material will be in the air, what will happen? The civilians, they will be scared with respect to the harm, as uranium and other radioactive materials, if your body is exposed to that for a longer period of time, it can cause cancer as well. So what happens to create, you can say, to make cities deserted and abandoned, this dirty bomb can be used. Apart from that, immediate health impacts would probably be limited, because as soon as the dirty bomb detonates, what happens? The civilian population might move faster, and it might not take them long enough to absorb the radioactive materials. But the economic damage could be massive, because as there is a frightening impact of such bombs that radioactive material has scattered into the air for a longer period of time, it might be possible that people do not want to return to those cities. So if the cities get abandoned, the economic activities there stop, and because of that, economic damage is a lot. The Federation of American Scientists have given an example. If a bomb containing 9 grams of cobalt-60 and 5 kg of TNT were to be exploded at the tip of Manhattan in New York, it would make the whole area of the city uninhabitable for decades. The problem with this weapon is that it is unreliable in nature. It can happen that the final materials of the radioactive materials can be carried through air and goes to those places where target was not preconceived. So one thing that we have to understand over here is that although it is cheap, yet it is unreliable. Moving ahead to the next part is, has a dirty bomb ever been used in the history? Now, successful usage of dirty bombs have never been seen in the army or military history. But if we take the case of 1996, the rebels from Chechnya, they installed a bomb with respect to dirty bombs I'm talking about. It contained dynamite and cesium-137. Where did they do so? In Moscow's Izmailov Park. So Chechnya is here. Remember that, in Russia. Okay. And in 1998, Chechnya's intelligence service, it found and diffused a dirty bomb that had been placed near a railway line in Chechnya. So you see that usage, it was planted, but it did not explode, so that we could know that successful attempt has been done. Now in 2002, Jose Padilla, he was a US based person, but he was in touch with Al-Qaeda. He got arrested in Chicago on suspicion of planning a dirty bomb attack, and he's spending many years in jail. Apart from that, UK based Dhiren Barot, he was arrested in London and subsequently jailed for 30 years. Both these people, they were in connection with Al-Qaeda. They wanted to create havoc with respect to the detonation of dirty bomb, but it could not happen. Even before they began to develop these dirty bombs, they got arrested. So this is you can see the fear with respect to dirty bombs. Moving ahead, let's talk about the response of Ukraine and West. Kiev says that it is absurd. The allegations are absurd, because how is it possible that a country like Ukraine would explode a bombing on itself and create economic damages for itself? So it is absurd. And the UK, France and US, they have issued a joint statement saying that this claim is transparently false. They also want Moscow against using them as a pretext for escalation. That means saying that, okay, in this war, Ukraine has used this weapon. Now it is justified that we will, in retaliation to that, use nuclear weapons. So it is a pretext according to the West. Okay. Moving ahead, let us talk about our question. What is the atomic number of uranium? 90, 89, 99, 92. You have to answer this correctly in the comment segment. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.